Hello, my name is Vivian, and this is my training partner, Merlin. Today, I wanted to talk about teaching our dog a focus. And so, throughout my Facebook and my Substack, this week I've been talking about the importance of a focus. I think sometimes, as I'm talking with people, we don't really understand the layers of how that's going to start to be really important in everyday life. From when we're walking our dogs, when we're getting into more busy environments where there's distractions, maybe you do find that you are leaning into going into dog sports. Focus is just a really good foundational skill to come back to with our dogs. And we'll see that too, when we're doing a bit more training with our dogs. That if we don't have a focus, it is hard to teach some of those basic things like a sit. If Merlin hears looking off out the window and I'm asking for a sit, he's not really engaged with me. So that would present a challenge right away in our training. Another thing, as I've talked about, is that I have a dog walking business. So I'm out there hiking groups of dogs at like up to 6 at a time. I always implement a check-in in our hikes. So it's a good time to come back, to have that focus. I call it a cookie call, but it's where I make eye contact with the dogs, where we have a check-in with each other, and then we kind of continue on after that positive reinforcement time and go back out there and have fun. So I wanted to talk about how we would teach a focus in our dogs. So in my earlier videos, I've talked about some of the things to consider when we're setting up our training space. So having a low distraction environment. I have sort of my training room in my house where I'll start to teach my dogs new skills. Um, as we progress with our skills, we can start introducing busier environments. If you do want to have your dog on a leash, have at least a 6-foot long leash. Of course, if you're inside and you're feeling that you don't need it, it's okay. But definitely, if you're working outside, it's nice to have. I use a flat collar, and then having lots of treats readily available. So I have a treat pouch today. Sometimes I use a pocket. So really whatever you have. And I want to consistently work from the same side. It tends to be that the left side is the most popular side. That's the side I'm working Merlin off today. So when we're teaching your dog a focus, we just start with one of their favorite treats, bringing it in front of their nose. So once you have your dog's nose, you have your dog's mind. It's a nice way to engage it. And then I'm going to draw a line from Merlin's nose to my nose. Look for that eye contact. Yes, mark and reward. Um, so the idea is that we start to build duration. So holding that treat at my nose, you can smile. Dogs are reading our facial expressions. Yes, good boys. That was a nice long focus. So gradually increasing time and then starting to label it once you know your dog's understanding what you're saying. Sometimes when we start, they don't understand the word, but they're understanding more that skill. And then you can give it a name, whatever you'd like to use. I say focus. Um, so then gradually building that skill into more busier environments. Um, Focus, yes, my bulldog is an agility dog, and it's a high distraction environment with lots of energy. Having that focus on him is such a wonderful skill. When we're warming up and just getting used to the ring that we're in, I will ask him for eye contact with me, and it does help him settle his energy. It also really builds our bond together. So it's something that we're working on together. Um, of course, not just in the agility ring. Not everybody's practicing or doing that dog sport, but even when we're out walking and I know there's a distraction coming by, just asking my dogs for a focus. My hound Elsa, she can get easily distracted by moving objects, so I'll ask her for that focus. Which is a really nice way to just continue on with a good loose leash walk. So, anyways, this is a little bit about training our dogs a focus, why we would want to do that, and how we can get started. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always find me on Facebook, Modern Hound Training and Behavior, or email me modernhoundtraining@gmail.com. Boy.